Tired of feeling uninspired and stuck in a rut? What if I told you that boredom could be the secret to unlocking your true potential? I'm about to challenge everything you think you know about being bored. Because what if I told you that your next breakthrough, your most creative idea, your moment of clarity, is waiting for you in the space between activities? In the next few minutes, we'll explore the transformative power of boredom and how to use it to your advantage. Get ready to redefine your relationship with doing nothing. The problem with busy. We live in a culture that worships at the altar of busy. How are you? Oh, you know, crazy busy. It's become a badge of honor, a way to signal our importance. But here's what we don't talk about. This constant need for stimulation is slowly suffocating our creativity. We've become addicted to the dopamine hit of notifications, the rush of crossing things off our to-do lists, the background noise that drowns out our own thoughts. Research from Harvard Business School shows that the average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes during waking hours. We're not just busy, we're actively avoiding any moment of quiet. And when we do find ourselves with nothing to do, what's our first instinct? Fill the void, scroll through social media, turn on a podcast, text a friend, anything but sit with the silence. But what if that silence, that space, that moment of nothingness we're so desperately trying to avoid? What if that's exactly where our breakthrough is waiting? Let me tell you about the default mode network. It's a network of brain regions that becomes active when we're not focused on the outside world, when we're bored. This is when your brain does its most important work. It consolidates memories, makes connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, and engages in what scientists call divergent thinking, the foundation of creativity. Einstein developed his theory of relativity during long, aimless walks. Darwin's breakthrough about evolution came during a carriage ride when he had nothing else to think about. J.K. Rowling conceived Harry Potter during a delayed train journey with no entertainment. These weren't accidents. They were the natural result of minds that had space to wander, to make connections, to stumble upon insights that only emerge in the quiet spaces between thoughts. Dr. Sandy Mann from the University of Central Lancashire conducted a fascinating study. She gave people a boring task, copying numbers from a phone book, and then asked them to brainstorm creative uses for plastic cups. The bored group outperformed the control group by 41%. Boredom didn't just allow creativity, it actively enhanced it. But boredom isn't just about creativity, it's about self-discovery. When we remove all the external inputs, we're left with something profound: ourselves, our hopes, our fears, our authentic desires, not the ones social media tells us we should have. How to embrace boredom. So how do we harness this power? How do we embrace boredom in a world designed to prevent it? Step 1. Schedule boredom. First, you need to be intentional. Block out time in your calendar. Yes, actually write it down, for doing nothing. Start with just 15 minutes a day. This isn't meditation time, exercise time, or catch-up time. This is sit and be bored time. No agenda, no goals, no productivity hacks. Step 2, embrace the discomfort. Your brain will resist. You'll feel antsy, maybe even anxious. This is normal. You're breaking an addiction to stimulation. Sit with the discomfort. Step 3, choose boredom-friendly activities. Engage in activities that invite mind-wandering. Take a walk without music or podcasts. Sit in a park and watch clouds. Do repetitive tasks like folding laundry or washing dishes without distraction. Step 4, observe without judgment. When thoughts arise, and they will, don't judge them. Don't immediately act on them. Just observe. What patterns do you notice? What themes keep recurring? Step 5, keep a boredom journal. After your boredom session, jot down any insights, ideas, or feelings that emerge. You'll be amazed at what your mind produces when you give it permission to wander. Someone writing in a journal, looking surprised at their own insights. Harnessing boredom for productivity. Now let's talk about the paradox of boredom and productivity. In our achievement-obsessed culture, doing nothing feels like giving up. But what if I told you that strategic boredom could make you more productive than any time management system? When we're constantly stimulated, our brains operate in reactive mode. We respond to emails, notifications, and urgent requests, but we rarely get to think strategically about what actually matters. Boredom creates space for what psychologists call metacognition, thinking about thinking. It allows us to step back and ask, what am I actually trying to accomplish? Is this the best use of my time and energy? Google famously gives employees 20% of their time to work on passion projects, but what they're really giving them is structured boredom, time to think, explore, and innovate without pressure. Examples of Google innovations that came from 20% time: Gmail, Google News, and AdSense all emerged from this unproductive time. The innovations that transformed the company came not from working harder, but from creating space to think differently. You don't need to work at Google to apply this principle. Take regular breaks from problem solving. When you're stuck on a project, instead of pushing through, step away, go for a walk, sit quietly, let your subconscious work on the problem. Often the solution will come not during intense focus, but during the quiet moments when you're not trying to find it. The benefits of a boredom mindset. What happens when you consistently embrace boredom? When you stop running from stillness and start running toward it? First, you develop what I call mental clarity. Your thoughts become less scattered, more focused. You start to distinguish between what's urgent and what's actually important. Second, you build resilience. When you're comfortable with boredom, you're less dependent on external validation and stimulation. You become more self-sufficient, more centered. Third, you rediscover appreciation for simple pleasures. A sunset becomes fascinating. A conversation becomes engaging. A cup of coffee becomes a small meditation. But perhaps most importantly, you reconnect with your authentic self. Beneath all the noise, all the shoulds and musts and have-tos, there's a person with unique interests, values, and dreams. Boredom strips away the external pressures and reveals what truly matters to you. Not what your family expects, not what society demands, not what your social media feed suggests, but what genuinely lights you up from the inside. This is why so many people have career changes, creative breakthroughs, and life revelations during periods of forced stillness, vacations, illness, unemployment. It's not the circumstance that creates the insight, it's the space. Conclusion. So here's your challenge. For the next week, schedule 15 minutes of intentional boredom every day. No agenda, no goals, no productivity hacks. Just you, sitting with whatever arises. Notice what happens, what thoughts emerge, what insights surprise you, what problems solve themselves when you stop trying to solve them. In a world that profits from your distraction, choosing boredom is a radical act. It's a declaration that your inner world matters. The stillness has value, that not everything needs to be optimized and monetized. Master the art of boredom, and you'll discover something remarkable. The most productive thing you can do is sometimes to do absolutely nothing at all.